The Rebel Capitalist Show.
How do we get people in government, in positions of power, that have your type of mindset where you're actually trying to solve problems, real problems, and maybe you're solving them in a different way than I'd solve them, but you're truly trying to do what's best for the people, where instead what we have are these politicians where they're not trying to do, the only person they care about is themselves. And by creating more government and more bureaucracy, more red tape, it just gives them more control to get more fees, to get more kickbacks. Therefore, they're going to have all of these people, lobbyists, as an example, knocking on their door, taking them out to dinner, giving them these brand new cars, giving them all the kickbacks that they want. And they get more and more kickbacks the more they increase the size and scope of government and create more bureaucracy, which is bad for the people because, again, it creates fewer goods and services. So but see, because the system is rigged, how do we change the system to where it promotes the exposure of people who really care about making things better and not just increasing their net worth? Yeah.
I personally love the idea of get in, make change that you can, and get out. Like, I do not want to be a career politician. There are plenty of things that I want to do. If I could come in and help right the ship and then leave after, whether that's a 1-year term or a 5-year term, fine with me. But I do not want to be a career politician.
So term limits, do you think, is something that would be good?
I think getting rich from politics is kind of the opposite of what politics is meant to be. I feel like politics is supposed to be something where you serve your community and give back. It's just part of living the good life. And that kind of goes back to like Aristotle and all this like philosophical stuff, which I really love. But yeah, like the political baggage, the lobbying, the essentially bribery that happens, where, you know, you hear, oh, did Gavin Newsom's house get donated by somebody who wanted, you know, special projects? Oh, why is the high-speed rail a project that has a 71-year break even? Why was Gavin Newsom against the high-speed rail, and now all of a sudden he's really for it?
Yeah,
you know, it's just,
I can tell you why. It goes back to exactly what we're saying, because he wasn't getting paid enough. You know, people weren't greasing his pocket with enough to actually say, okay, yeah, I give it the nod. That's his leverage. That's the politician's leverage. They can determine who gets the high-speed rail when they get it, and therefore that's what they use to make money. And that's why you have these career politicians like, you know, Elizabeth Warren, or more famously, Pelosi, who they've never had a job outside of government, but yet somehow they're worth $200 million. How? How is this possible?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's true.
That's exactly how you do it. But, you know, my big concern right now with society, and not just in California, but overall, is how do you change the mentality of people when it seems like they're just voting for the politicians who just give them the most stuff, right? Well, I'm just going to vote for whatever. They're all crooked. So why not just vote for the guy or gal who promises to give me the most stuff, instead of voting for the guy or girl who really is going to improve things?
It's possible, unfortunately, that things are just going to have to get so bad that, you know, like this, we have the analogy of the sinking ship, that which COVID is really accelerating in California, which is just more businesses leaving, more people leaving, taxes going up more, right? It's possible that things are just going to have to get so bad to the point where all of a sudden the state is like, oh no, we're going bankrupt, and we can't provide all that money anymore. And then the state might just have to get bailed out through bankruptcy at some point, which is crazy to think about that. But I'm sincerely concerned about that future. And that's one of the reasons I'm running too. People are like, why would you bother running? Well, I don't want California to be a broken, bankrupt state in 20 years when I'm 49 and my kid is 25, you know, or 25 and 23, or my boys would be then. I want California to be great, to be exceptional, like it used to be. People used to love California. They used to say, oh my gosh, the California dream, go to California. Wow. Why would you move to Texas or Florida or Vegas when you could live in California? Well, it's the opposite now, you know, and it's time to fix that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my hat's off to you, because a lot of your fellow YouTubers, and your good buddies left California. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Graham hit the bid a long time ago, didn't he? Like probably a year ago, he left California, didn't he?
Oh yeah, yeah. He left a while ago. He must have left at the least like 13, 14 months ago now at this point.
Yeah, he went to Vegas, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So, but you're someone that said, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to leave. And I'm not saying this is right or wrong, because I probably would have left too. But you're someone that says, screw it. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to fight for what I think is right. And in a way that is very, very commendable. And I've got a lot of respect for you to do that. But how long can you stay on this path? Like, I mean, at some point you've got to put your kid's future as priority number one. And, if they're going to have a better future somewhere else, I think you got to consider that, which I'm sure you have. So where's the line in the sand for Kevin as far as California, if it continues to get worse?
Yeah, golly, Lauren and we've talked about this. So
Lauren
really, really wants to stay here. But she recognizes that we live in potentially this little bit of a bubble where Ventura County hasn't gotten to LA or San Francisco problems yet. And she says, look, I want to stay for not only the weather, the community aspect of living here, but also friends and family.
Right.
But let's be real. If what's happening in San Francisco or happening in LA with the homelessness, the crime, the lawlessness, the trash, the problems they have, if that happens, and the politics, if that happens here, then yeah, it might come time to move. And she's actually already started exploring ideas. Like, she's not as compelled by taxes as I am. So while my ideas might be like Nashville, Florida, Texas, Vegas, she's like, I kind of like Connecticut because it's beautiful. Just fine. Like
you're going from the frying pan into the fire.
these are all negotiations to be had, right? But yeah, I mean, that thought, somebody born and raised in California, Lauren, already like considering like, okay, time to maybe start exploring other things if problems get worse here. Yeah, that's already starting to happen.